Hey everyone, Blackjack Mark here on the Gun Guy channel, and today what we're going to be talking about is something pretty close to home, and that pun is intended. We're talking about your home defense pistol and how to use it. A few months ago it was fall, a pretty rainy day out, around 1 in the morning, so it was dark. All of a sudden I hear a beep, beep, beep coming from the kitchen, and in my head I'm going, well, did we leave the refrigerator open? Is the microwave on? About 30 seconds later, the alarm goes off. I immediately grab my home defense gun, which at that time was a Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. So it had 7 rounds of .357. Made sure that everyone was safe and staying in one room. The police had actually called at that point, or the alarm company said the police were on the way, but they would be there in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, a lot of bad stuff can happen. Made sure everyone was behind me, accounted for, and then I went into the hall and started to go into the rest of the house with the gun to make sure that the home was clear. And confront any possible threats that were there. What happened was when I hit the hallway, it was incredibly dark. So I really couldn't tell much. I couldn't see much that was in front of me. So I did hit the light switch, which if there was a bad guy in the house at that point, would have pretty much highlighted where I was and given them a free shot if they had a gun. Went through the whole of the house, turning on lights. By the time I had checked the entire house, basement excluded, the police had arrived and the security people, the alarm company, said that they were there. Important note, I informed them what everyone who was supposed to be in the house looked like. So if they did come in one of the entrances that I was unaware of, they would know who was who. I also said that I was armed with a revolver. They asked me to put the revolver away, which kind of made sense. So I said, all right, I will do that. And then I met them at the front door and they went through the whole house. Turns out that someone had actually come in the back door, but they had left apparently when the alarm went off, or at least that was the conjecture. But the lesson that I learned from that was, while I love having a revolver because of the reliability, I'm very comfortable shooting it. I think the .357 has a lot of stopping power. It didn't have a light on it. So now I am switching to a gun that I can put a light on. And when I started looking for lights, I was looking for something that would work with my particular gun. Almost any light will do that. I wanted something that had not only a flashlight, but a laser built in. And I wanted something that had a strobe and something that was rechargeable. So those were my hit list. And I also wanted something that wasn't going to cost me $400 or $500. And the winner was the Baldr R Pro Olight. So we're going to take a look at that and throw it on a gun and see how it works. And let's get to the light choice. So like I said, this is the Olight Baldr Pro R. The R, I assume, stands for rechargeable because the Baldr Pro does not recharge. It has batteries. And again, one of the things that, there are lots of great lights on the market. There's Streamlight, Surefire. Honestly, I went with the Olight because of the price and it had all the functions that I wanted. So let's open her up and see what we got. We have a, let's see, slide open. All right, we will listen to them. And what's it say? Congratulations on your new Baldr R Pro. Increase your accuracy not only at the range, but when your life depends on it. Okay, there you go. That's kind of why we got this. By the way, so this particular light, and there we go. As we're taking it out, you wind up with the actual light itself. This is the charger, which is actually one of the things that I liked. It is very reminiscent of my Apple Watch, so I felt pretty comfortable with that. And then we have the instruction manual, which has apparently 28 different languages. Although I don't think you can sell guns in 28 different countries, or at least that's what Everyone keeps telling you, so only in America, so I don't know why they have all the languages. Go figure. And it looks like these are the mounting accessories. So this particular piece comes with two mounting systems, the GL, which I believe is for the Glock, and I want to say the 1913, which works on a standard Picatinny rail. So let's take this out and take a peek at it. It is bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. It is 3.74 inches long, 1.44 inches wide, and 1.34 inches thick, and comes with that nice little case on it. So let's see if we can take that off. They give you a special note that this light comes in a lock mode. So to activate it, so if you have to hold these twice, 1, 2, and now we're on. The thing is popping against the wall right now. So let's see if we do that and we turn it off. The selector on this particular piece is right there, and you can see it's kind of neat. It's three separate options. So you have just the green dot, the green laser. You have, let's see. You have the green laser and the light, and just the light. And there is the charging bed. To turn this on, let's see, I believe you just hold it. Oh, that's the strobe. There we go. So to get this particular light on, you just do a quick touch, and to get it off, another quick touch. To do what they call a momentary light, you just hold it and it'll go off right away. So that's if you want to just pop the light on as you're doing it. To get the strobe, you hold both sides in and release. And then you turn off. So what I'm curious about, and I did not see in any of the reviews that I looked at, was will the strobe work with the laser on? One of the reasons that seemed important to me was when I was talking to someone at my local gun store who's an NRA instructor and suggested, well, you know, I was just going to get a flashlight to put on. He goes, go ahead and get a strobe. And I go, well, why? And he goes, the flashlight makes it easier if the perpetrator has a gun, he just shoots for the light. The strobe, on the other hand, should disorient him. I don't know how accurate that is. I really don't care to test the theory. I'm just conveying information that I was told. So let's see if the laser and the strobe will work together. We're going to hold this in for 2. And they do, so I'm pretty happy about that. Again, that was a function that really didn't come across in any of the reviews. So you can, with this particular light, do the strobe and the laser light, although the laser is awfully tough to see when the strobe is going. So the weight on this particular piece is 4.32 ounces. So not horrible depending on what gun you're attaching it to. The run time when it has a full charge is 1 hour and 33 minutes. This particular version of the Olight also is waterproof, and it comes in black. I believe they have a bronze or an earth color as well. The material is aluminum, and it kicks out 1,350 lumens, which is really pretty bright. So now the throw on this, or the distance that this will throw, is 200 meters. That's not particularly relevant for me because of the way that I'm planning on using this light. My house is not 200 meters. That is 656 feet. So that's, I believe, the equivalent of a long way is the technical term for it. By the way, if you shoot someone at 200 meters and claim self-defense, that's probably not going to work real well. For me, this light is going to be used for home defense. I'm going to sight the laser in at about 7 yards because statistically most self-defense situations happen within 21 feet. So that's where this is going to be. Right now this has it looks like the GL rail on it, which will not work with the HK. So what we're going to do is take this off, swap out the rails, try and put this on this gun, and hopefully I will not screw this up. All right, so it does come with an Allen wrench, and it looks like these screws are for the 1913, which I believe fits the standard Picatinny rail. So let's see if this unlocks these. Yep, there we go. Move that out of the way. And that one is good. Let's do this other one. One of the other things I really do like about this, as opposed to some of the other lights I looked at, is this has a really quick mounting system for the various guns. It's actually just a flip switch. So let's get that out of there. There we go. We're gonna put these in here if on the off chance I ever lose my mind and decide to buy a Glock. All right. Put that in. And honestly, that was pretty easy. I was worried about the direction, but it does have that little notch, so that removed any thought from the process. Gotta like that. Thinking is bad. Put that one in. All right. Again, you don't want to over tighten these, but you do want to make sure they're secure. And flush. All right, so just, there we go. 1 and 2. Now, in regard to getting this on, in theory, you just pop that open. And let's see. Yep, I guess theory works better than practice does. Oh, look at it. It's magnetic. Okay, so this is spring activated. So it doesn't just slide on. So what we're going to do is do that, and this is too far forward to fit on this gun. I'll be darned. So what we are going to have to do is see if I can move this back a little bit.
Survey set.
It was going so well till then. All right, so this particular Baldr R does not seem to fit on this gun. So because this is a smaller gun in SK, I think it's going to be too small to work. I'm going to see real quick if I can move this back at all, and then we'll see.
Survey set.
So it looks like, in my infinite wisdom, this particular light is too small, or too big rather, to fit this HK. So this is the HK P30SK. So it's the shorter version of it. I think this is going to fit on the P30L, which is the long slide, really well. And I actually love that gun too. So by default, I believe that will now be the new home defense gun. There are certain versions of this Olight that have this part will slide and is movable so that it can fit shorter ones. But again, because I wanted the strobe, the chargeability, and the laser all combined, this seemed like the best way to go for me. And I still think it is, just not for this gun. So we're going to be right back. We're going to swap it out with a different gun. All right, and we are back. So when last we left our gun, we were having compatibility problems because the Baldr Pro R, a little too big for the gun that I thought we were going to use it for. So part of what I did was during our break, I went ahead and I looked at the Amazon site where I bought this. It did not have a compatibility chart. So I think they do have one on the Olight system if you want to check. However, as the old saying goes, you know, measure twice, cut once. We are going to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and then put it on one gun. So you do the math. Not as snappy as the original saying, but anyhow. So as you can see, this, and by the way, all these guns have been cleared and checked during the break. So this gun, while it's snug with recoil, it's not going to be a permanent fix. So this is too small. And this rail system from the edge of the gun is about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches. And if we now go here and take a peek at this, we'll see that we need something that is at least 2 inches. So I brought a few guns just to check, and honestly, I was kind of surprised that this won't work on a few of these. These are Rugers. This is a SIG. This is another HK. The SIG, obviously, it has a proprietary rail. So we're just using it for a size reference. But again, on the SIG, then this is the P365, that's under 1.5 inches. So obviously if we got the adapter, this would still be woefully short. This particular gun, which is a Ruger SR9, we'll measure that out real quick. This is, again, 1.5, and the rail slot is under 1 inch. So this is, again, woefully short, wouldn't work on this gun. And here is our good old friend, the Ruger 22. I don't know why you'd want to put a light on a Ruger 22. It'd be fun for plinking. And on this one, we are also at 1.5. So once again, we're short. So pretty much on all of these guns, this light will not work. So the moral of this story is you absolutely want to measure the distance from the rail to the trigger guard and make sure that this will fit. Now, Olight does make ones that do have adjustable. They're smaller. They just don't have all the functions that I was looking for. Enter our hero and savior, the HK P30L, which is a long slide. And we'll measure this just to see that it is almost 2.5, about 2.5 inches of Picatinny rail under there. So size does matter no matter what they tell you. We're going to go ahead and put this on this gun as soon as we poof. And again, all these guns were cleared, but we will take that out. Show that the gun is clear. So a pretty simple installation once you find a gun that it fits on. Again, this pulls out, so you simply pull it. Whoops, maybe I spoke too soon. Simply pull it, lock it in place, and then pull it down, and voila. So that was a really quick installation on this gun. Fits nice and snug. And I like that you can control the light with your index finger when it's off. So you can literally turn it on and turn it off. To get the strobe, you would have to use both hands, but for me at least, my thumb fits perfectly. And we're in strobe mode and we're off. All in all, I think this light's gonna work out pretty well. We'll do some night tests with it so that you can actually see the brightness. And we'll actually do a couple of tests in the room just to give you an idea of what the light looks like. But all in all, really happy with the purchase. Wish I would have measured it, but I would have still wound up getting it, and I would have just put it on this gun originally. All right, so we are in pitch black right now. We do have some night sights, but again, this would do us no good if we were walking through a house like this. So we're going to click once and turn the light on. And as you can see, that is pretty bright. Now this particular gun has two settings for this light. So if you double click, there's our bright. That's 1350. Double click again, that's 300. So you can use the brighter or the softer setting depending on what you need. And so we are going to go dark. And we will switch to, I believe, just the green light. Oh, or just the flashlight. And again, you can do the flashlight and then use the regular sights. And we are on the bright mode. Switch to laser on in the bright mode. And just the green laser, which is really, really pretty bright by itself. And then we will go to the strobe mode. We hold both. And as you can see, that would be relatively disorienting for someone who is coming at you. And it's relatively disorienting for me, so we're going to turn it off. I really like this Baldr Pro R. And what you get for $169 is you get the light, which has the flashlight, the light laser combo, and just the green laser. You get a recharger, which you can use, has a USB attachment, so it will charge. I like that so that you don't ever have to buy new batteries. You get the GL rail as well as the standard Picatinny rail and this Allen wrench. So the Allen wrench, as a side note, is also used to zero in the laser. So to change the elevation of the laser, you take the Allen wrench that you use to change the rail, insert it in the bottom, and adjust accordingly. To change left or right or windage, you go to the side, again insert the Allen wrench, and you can adjust it accordingly. All in all, a great light. And I think that the lesson that at least I learned is just to make sure that when you buy an accessory for your gun, you make sure that it's going to work with the gun that you're buying the accessory for. For me, fortunately, you know, this is a perfectly acceptable alternative, and I owned it already, so I'm pretty happy. But and I'm also happy that I kind of made this mistake, because that's sort of what this channel's purpose is for. I do stupid things so you don't have to.
Gee, Mr. Wizard, looks like I made a mess out of things again.
Always I tell you, Tudor, be just what you is, not what you is not. Folks what you is has the happiest lot.
See you next week, and we are going to give the Baldr Pro R 5 out of 5 bullseyes. Have a good week.